Welcome, beautiful soul. We're looking at the week of January 24th through 30th, 2022. So this is an intense week because we're heading to the end of January. We're about to enter February next week. This month, February, is massive. Many reasons. One, Pluto return on the 22nd in the US, the United States. Also, February is in all 2 months. It's the 2022. It'll be an 8 universal month, which is very important because it's activating our destiny because of the other numbers. So anyway, all to say we're in this energy, the vibration of moving into massive change. So I'm Jen Duchenne of jenduchenne.com, Akashic Swan Guidance, and I'm using the Illuminating Journey Cards to answer the question of what we need to know today. And these cards were created by me with the guidance of the Akashic Records. So they are living portals, and they're here to give us a different vibration and help us move into this new paradigm. One thing that's really interesting or worth noting is that there's something standing up in my hair. That's certainly worth noting. But besides that is when we think about paradigm change and massive energy going towards a certain time, like February, for instance, or the year 2022 is such a powerful year, is that sometimes we get caught up in an idea of what we think change looks like, what we think something intense looks like, but often it can be something that just slides by unnoticed. And then when we look back, we realize that that was something massive. Well, that was that moment, when the straw broke the camel's back, for example. So let's see, what is the first card? The first card is the 26, which relates to the 8 I just mentioned. So this is the 26 soul portal. And thinking about what it is we need to know for this week, the final full week of January. The Golden Palace. So this is very much a card that draws us to the sacredness of our soul, the capacity to be soul beings in human bodies. And what does that mean? Many of us have pictures in our mind about what we think it means to be human. A lot of this is predicated by our belief systems that we've held, the programming, patterning that we've been given, that life's about suffering, life's about difficulty, hardship. I need to pull myself up by my socks and apply myself and be very rigid and unforgiving. So this card speaks about this. At this time, it is speaking of the capacity we have within the now to allow love in, to allow the energy of love. These are all rose petals here, which is the highest vibration of love. And it calls us to that sweetness, to that, to the capacity love has to illuminate our souls, illuminate our human beings, and kind of move them into a different idea. This energy calling us into being brave souls, courageous souls, willing to see what we have not seen, seeing the light, seeing the golden, seeing the possibility and the potential of what is available to us right now. It's looking with different eyes and being in that energy of and wisdom of our souls, and the energy of what is wise to our beingness, what is wise to our humanness, what can we see beyond what we've seen. The Golden Palace calls us to our home, which is a lot to do with this year, coming back to our homes, coming back to what is our real nature, what is true to us, what we value. And therefore the Golden Palace calls us to the courage of who we are, to step deeper into this place, this longing we have, to remove the veil of longing and to step into the knowing that we are here. And it requires a different point of view. It requires us to remove the veils, to stop living in a world where suffering is the reality, and to move to something different. So who do we need to be in that place? And to activate this Golden Palace, to activate the energy of deep peace, kindness, generosity, but not giving up who we are. So not sacrificing the energy and the light within us so that we can be part of the picture, but to truly take that energy and illuminate ourselves and our lives with it, the energy of being an empowered being who knows the truth of who they are. So this is definitely a message of, and what strikes me here is the timer, right? That thing about counting the grains of sand of time. It's just like time shifting, everything's shifting. What are we willing to step into? What are we willing to kind of see that we haven't seen and go, okay, I can see what it is, but now I'm changing my position around what I'm receiving so I can come from a place of love, but also from a place of, that courage of the heart, what is true to the heart. And the second card, another soul portal, is the 11. So very powerful message, because we're going from this is the desire we have to step into this. And in order to do that, we have the 11, which is to realize who we are on a much higher level, instead of being disempowered or feeling like we have no power over our lives. Other people do things, governments do things, people who have money do things, or whatever it is. We have all these fixed ideas about what it means to be human and in our lives, and being trapped in those stories, in those things that have been real to us, and now being called to stand on our own 2 feet by allowing the higher vibrations of what's available to us to enter into the rhythm of our lives, to be rooted in that sense of being aligned to our truth, to the incredible power, like here, being struck by that plasma, that energetic lightning that is awakening our hearts. It's like we're getting that energetic hitting into the heart, going, wake up and be vibrant, put down that energy, put down that protein into the roots, become, connected to the energy of who you are. This is a highly vibratory time we're in right now. This week is especially potent for connecting to the higher vibrations of who we are, to kind of opening ourselves, as the figure here shows, the arms outstretched in this exact position of receiving this high vibrational frequencies and allowing them to root into the earth. Feel that kind of sense of kundalini awakening, in the sense of the body awakens to being connected to the soul, to recognizing the vibrancy of what is possible, what must happen. And the card itself, super vibrant colors. Speaking of, there's the combination there of the golden and the pink, the expansion of being super open to that vibration. Oops, something fell. I don't know what it was, so I guess this is an important message. And the third and final card. So this week we have all soul portals. The last 2 weeks we had one of each, so fascinating. We're moving into a different vibration, and this is the 23 soul portal, 23 highest vibration number, which speaks of the courage of being in the heart of who we are, the heart of the lion. And I've mentioned courage a few times. This is a key part, to be valiant, to be brave, to truly step there out into that desert, like here, where the figure is confronting the Sphinx and asking for the answer to the riddle. What shall I do? And then the Sphinx is going, okay, you got to figure out the answer to the riddle. And being in that place of, how do we answer a riddle? When life is full of riddles. The experiences we're having right now are riddled with riddles. So there is so much here. It's so rich. And yet we look at this landscape, and in its own way extremely rich, but the colors are muted. And the feeling here is this needing to connect to the soul, the depth of the soul. What is the journey I must take in order to experience these things? To get to the truth of my golden palace, the place I desire to live in, and to coexist with others, where the reality is very different because I am conscious of the choices I'm making and what I'm thinking about. And this, the internal and the external, how am I allowing who I am to bring me into alignment, and how will I step out into the desert and take this journey for my soul, for my being, to up-level my experience and to walk with the riddle that I have been given. So this speaks to being courageous, and it speaks to following your intuition and all of the things that help us to understand that everything we see, everything that touches us and is around us, could possibly be part of the message, part of the next level picture. And it is truly up to us to kind of go, yeah, what is it that I need to do to expand the crystal within me, the crystalline being within me, so I can truly take my place and activate my calling, what I'm being called to do, what I desire to do, what I feel liberated to bring into being. So that's the reading for this week. It feels very portentous, very powerful. And the message I get is from the Akashic beings, is to step into that electricity, into that place of feeling that flow of energy and allowing it. We don't need to, when we're allowing this higher level frequencies into us, we need to be open to how it's going to come in, instead of trying to control it, because that's how we're like, oh, I want to be a good student, I want to receive, or I want to be able to, get what I need. And it comes more with being in the place of who you are, as opposed to trying to think your way in. So there, your intuition, the courage of your intuition, the immensity, because courage comes from the heart. And so what is the energy and the story in the heart that is allowing you to just be still with the riddle? Be in stillness with what you're wanting to see, what you're wanting to, not what you're trying to calculate and create. That is a false thing, but something true to your heart that I want to live in a place that's true to me. How do I get there? And a lot of it comes from a place of stillness. A lot of it comes from there I am. I'm in the electricity, I'm receiving, and I'm allowing, and I'm truly taking my place. I'm allowing the roots to expand from me. I'm receiving this idea that I can be an empowered being here to make a difference, and not be afraid of the riddle. Well, I hope that message connects to you in the way it needs to. and that you have an amazing week, allowing the energy of who you are to become part of who you are. Open to receive. I'm Jen Duchenne, jenduchenne.com, Akashic Swan Guidance. I guide my clients to know the truth of who they are and to activate a clear path to living on purpose, living their purpose, and activating their mission and the highest calling. So if that's you that's being called and you're ready to invest in your next level, you can always contact me, and I will see you next week.